All right, listeners, ready for another deep dive. You guys sent over some super interesting stuff about Web3 onboarding this time. We've got excerpts from a slide deck called Belgrade, Simplifying the User Experience, the Key to Mass Onboarding, and a YouTube video called Simplifying the User Experience is the Key to Mass Onboarding Wayne Marcel FIO Protocol, DAO. It looks like it was uploaded to the ETH Belgrade channel on YouTube. And you know me, I'm always up for a good challenge. So how do we make Web3 easy for literally everybody? That's what we're going to try to figure out today. We'll find out why this guy's giving away free Dogecoin and hear his ideas about like hiding wallets from users. Get ready. It's going to be a wild one.
You know what really struck me was the speaker's own journey into Web3, like his stop ignoring Bitcoin moment back in 2016. It's a great example of how just being curious can lead you down some pretty unexpected paths.
Yeah, for sure. And it wasn't all fun and games either. He talks about sending his first crypto transaction like it was some kind of high-stakes mission. Like his friend had totally drilled it into him that you got to get every single character of that wallet address, right?
Yeah, a lot of early adopters can relate to that whole anxiety around sending crypto back in the day. But his story, it's kind of more than just a personal thing, you know? It actually points to a bigger trend we see with technology over time.
Oh, I think I see where you're going with this. Like he talks about how sending an email used to be this whole complicated process, but now even our grandparents are like sending emojis without a second thought. And he's right, we see things getting easier to use all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, think about it. We went from those clunky IP addresses, which were like driving a Ferrari on a dirt road, to the sleek domain names we use today. And it's the same with cars, too. We went from those unreliable contraptions to like the super sophisticated machines we have now. And Web3, it's kind of the same deal. It needs to become way more user-friendly if it's going to reach its full potential.
And he uses those exact analogies in the slide deck. Like his comparison of IP addresses to dirt roads made for horses is spot on. It really shows you why those crazy long wallet addresses are such a big problem for most people.
Yeah, those long strings of characters are just too intimidating. They're error-prone and confusing for the average person. It's like we're expecting everyone to become blockchain engineers just to send a few bucks.
So how do we get around this? He brings up the FIO protocol as like a solution. And this is where things get really interesting.
So FIO is trying to fix this by replacing those complicated wallet addresses with human-readable handles. It's kind of like your username on social media, but for crypto.
So instead of sending Bitcoin to a jumble of random letters and numbers, you could send it to something like jane.doe at crypto. Now that makes a lot more sense.
And the cool thing about FIO is that these handles work across different blockchains. So you can use the same handle to send Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, whatever you want.
Okay, I'm impressed. And the slides show off some other neat FIO features too. Like decentralized payment requests sound like a total game changer. It's like using PayPal, but without having to pay those pesky fees.
Exactly. And those requests can be for any cryptocurrency that FIO supports. Think about what you could do with that.
And NFT signing, that's pretty cool too. Artists and brands can digitally sign their stuff right on the blockchain, so buyers know they're getting the real deal. No more fake NFTs.
Yeah, it's a powerful way to prove that something is authentic, especially in the digital world. But what I found super interesting was this idea of the FEL wallet. It basically hides all the complicated stuff about wallets and transactions from the user. He uses Web3 gaming as an example. Players could be earning and trading crypto without even knowing they're on a blockchain.
Wait, so gamers wouldn't even know they're using Web3? That's kind of mind-blowing.
It really highlights a key point from his presentation. We need to hide all that technical stuff to make things more user-friendly. If people are having fun playing a game, they don't need to be bombarded with all that technical stuff about gas fees and private keys.
He's right. It's about making things easy to understand and focusing on what's in it for them instead of all the technical jargon.
It's like when you drive a car. You don't need to know how the engine works to get where you're going, right? You just need an easy way to control it. The steering wheel, pedals, dashboard.
Right, and that's what FIO was doing, creating that user-friendly dashboard for crypto. But making the tech easy is just one part of it, right?
Yeah.
He also kind of throws down a challenge to the whole industry.
Oh yeah, he's really pushing for everyone to move beyond just building cool tech. It's about making Web3 something everyone can understand and actually use. And he's got a point. How many times have you tried to explain Web3 to someone and their eyes just glaze over?
Ugh, too many times. It's like we're speaking a completely different language. We throw around words like NFT and blockchain, but we don't explain how they actually benefit people in a way that clicks.
Yeah, he actually warns against using all those buzzwords without explaining what they mean. It's not enough to just talk about the tech. We need to show people how it can improve their lives.
So instead of overwhelming them with jargon, we need to show them the value through real-world examples, like Web3 gaming, where you actually own your in-game stuff, or DeFi, which can make financial services fairer for everyone.
Exactly. Let's create experiences that are so easy and fun to use that people don't even realize they're messing with blockchain technology. Remember that fell wallet and those gamers who didn't know they were on the blockchain? That's the kind of seamless integration we need.
That's a great example of how making things simple can open up complex technology to a wider audience. But even with the best tech and the best user experience, there's still one thing missing: education.
Yeah, he's really passionate about that. You can't just throw people into the deep end of Web3 and expect them to figure it all out, especially with all the scams and misinformation floating around.
And he's got a pretty radical solution: integrating educational resources directly into platforms and dApps.
So what if a simple tutorial popped up the first time you create a Web3 gaming account, or when you try to send crypto for the first time? We could meet people where they are and give them the info they need in an easy-to-understand way.
That's actually brilliant. It's like having a built-in guide for the crazy world of Web3. It could help people avoid scams, understand the basics, and feel more confident exploring this new stuff.
Yeah, and it could also encourage more responsible participation. Imagine if every platform could verify info and flag potential scams.
That would be a game changer. But education isn't just about avoiding scams. It's also about empowering people to understand the technology, its potential, and its limitations.
He talks a lot about that user empowerment. He thinks Web3 can shift power from big institutions to individuals, giving people more control over their data, their money, and their digital lives.
It's a powerful vision, but it takes everyone working together. We need developers making user-friendly tools, educators creating easy-to-understand resources, and regular people spreading the word and helping onboard new folks.
Yeah, his approach to onboarding is pretty interesting. He doesn't just talk about it, he actively looks for opportunities to introduce people to Web3 in a fun way. Like, remember when he offered free Dogecoin to anyone who set up a wallet at ETH Belgrade?
Oh yeah, that's brilliant. It gets people curious and shows them how easy it can be. And who doesn't love free Dogecoin?
He gets that a positive first experience is super important. By making those first interactions with Web3 simple, intuitive, and even fun, we can create a ripple effect that inspires more people to join the movement.
It's all about breaking down those initial barriers and making Web3 feel less scary and more welcoming.
And he's got another trick up his sleeve: crypto gift cards preloaded with Dogecoin. He thinks they could be huge for mainstream adoption.
I can totally see it. Crypto gift cards everywhere this holiday season. Imagine giving your grandma her first Dogecoin.
It's a great way to introduce Web3 to a wider audience, especially people who might not be comfortable with exchanges or setting up wallets themselves.
He even mentioned working with bartenders to accept crypto tips. He helped them set up wallets and walk them through the process.
He's putting his money where his mouth is. It's not just about talking, it's about actually doing it. And that's where his call to action comes in. He challenges each of us to find our own way to contribute.
Yeah, it's really cool to see someone actually doing it, not just talking about it. Like that story about him getting those bartenders at the polka dot party set up with wallets so they can take crypto tips. That really stuck with me.
It shows you how hands-on he is. He really believes that even small things can make a big difference. He's not waiting around for someone else to fix the onboarding problem. He's out there leading by example.
It's like a social experiment almost, seeing how people react to crypto in the real world. And it's funny, he said most of the bartenders were hesitant at first, but then they got super excited once they started getting those crypto tips.
Yeah, there's something about that real-world experience that makes it click for people. It's one thing to hear about the potential of crypto, but it's totally different to actually see it in action, to have those digital tokens in your own wallet.
It's like he's taking the mystery out of crypto, making it something people can relate to and not be intimidated by. And that brings us back to his main message, the one that he kept coming back to throughout the whole presentation. We need to focus on making things easy to use, not complicated.
Right, he's not saying we should dumb down the technology. It's about building bridges so people can benefit from Web3, even if they don't understand all the technical details. It's like he's saying, let's make it so anyone can join this new digital economy, no matter how tech-savvy they are.
I love that. It's about making these powerful technologies available to everyone. and giving people more control over their digital lives.
Yeah, that idea of empowerment is a big part of his presentation. He sees Web3 as a way to shift the balance of power from big institutions to individuals, giving people more control over their data, their money, and their online identities.
That's a bold vision, and it requires a whole new way of thinking. It's about moving away from that old way of using the internet, where we're constantly giving our data to big tech companies, and moving towards a system that's more decentralized, where we own and control our own information.
It's a huge shift,
Right.
and it could totally change the digital world as we know it. And he believes that making things easy to use is crucial for making that happen.
It's like he's saying, we can't expect everyone to become blockchain experts right away. So let's create tools and interfaces that make it easy for anyone to join this new decentralized world.
And he's not just talking about wallets and payments, he's imagining a future where decentralized tech is everywhere. In social media, healthcare supply chains, you name it.
And that's where his call to action comes in. He's challenging us to find our own way to contribute, whether we're developers building user-friendly apps, or educators creating easy-to-understand resources, or just regular people spreading the word and helping new folks get started. We all have a role to play in making this vision a reality.
He believes that mass adoption of Web3 won't happen overnight. It takes a lot of effort, a collective push from a diverse group of people and organizations, all working towards the same goal.
And I think that's what's so inspiring about his message. It's not about waiting for someone else to build the future we want. It's about taking charge and actively creating it ourselves.
He leaves us with a powerful reminder. The user experience is the bridge between blockchain technology and mass adoption. By making things easy to use, we can unlock the full potential of Web3 and create a digital world that's fair, more decentralized, and more user-friendly.
Wow, that was powerful. This deep dive has been a real eye-opener. You gave me some amazing stuff to think about. And I feel like I understand the challenges and opportunities of Web3 onboarding so much better now.
It's been great exploring these ideas with you. It's obvious you've put a lot of thought into this, and your insights have been really valuable.
Well, thanks for guiding me through all this. And to all our listeners out there, we hope you found this deep dive as insightful and inspiring as we did. Remember, the future of Web3 is in our hands. Let's build it together. Make sure to check out the show notes for links to FIO Protocol Edge Wallet and all the other resources we talked about today. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep